So now it is time for us to put in the hard yards and get a big part of the mission done, which is going to be Surats Rest. To get the Almanac, and there is a lot of other stuff to do in there as well, and a lot of other lore pages to collect in there also. So if I could suggest anything for Surats, it is to stock up before you go in there. Make sure you've got the most amount of energy you can possibly have. Make sure you've got tons of ammo, tons of bandages. Make sure you're prepared in every sense of the word. Really interested in having a fight with him right now. Alright, so we're just going to... He's going to chase us. Alright, so you'll see where we are on the map here, Surats Rest, and the Almanac. We set that as a waypoint. So what we are going to do is, contrary to what the map sort of looks like it wants us to do, we're going to try and stay around the outside of the map, because you'll see just above my head there, the buildings sort of skirt around, and there's an outside section of the fence there that you can sort of stay out of trouble there. So that's what we are going to do. Now this next section, as I mentioned previously, is going to be a little bit complicated, and it's quite a long one. There are an absolute ton of enemies in here, and you need to be extremely careful. So what I'm going to do is, for the sake of speed and also for ease of demonstration, is take you the easy way that enables us to take on the least amount of enemies. So as I mentioned before, what we are going to do is head around the right hand side of Surats Rest. Even though we're looking to head sort of into the center there, I'll explain why we're going to do that once we get into here. So if you've got the updraft here, this will be extremely helpful. So if you take a quick look and a scout down here, you'll see where we actually need to go is just up there. But in terms of getting there, the best way to do so is to swing around the outside, because you'll see at various times there's a ton of enemies in here, and our most favourite of all, the green scythe bosses, there's a couple of them in there as well. You can jump around the outside here, but it's quite dangerous. Now, you'll see here we've got a silver chest, which is quite handy, and also just inside here we've got a wooden chest also. One of the reasons why you should check out this side anyway. Now there are other silver chests that are over the other side, and as I mentioned previous, honestly it's up to you to, in your own time, sort of check out a lot of the other places for loot in here. Because if I went through and did absolutely everything, I would be in here forever. and it would not really be a video worth watching. So what we are trying to do is get into there. So that's our location right there. Now this is going to trigger a couple of enemies over here, but it won't trigger all of them. Because there's a lot more in here. And as you'll see on the levels of them, they're not messing around. And I believe I'm going to have to start using my sword. So we have in here a lore page, caravan raid, no one can fool me. So you'll see now that we now have a new request under the Almanac to go to the matron. Quite a few books and whatnot around here also. Now you'll see there, green scythe. I just triggered him just so you'd know where he is, and you can also see here there's a lore page just near me, and also a ton of enemies. Now basically if you just happen to trigger a lot of them and you don't want to deal with them, you can basically just come back to here. You see that guy there's turned around and he wants to go back. So hence coming this way. Now you can actually do this the reverse way around if you want. What I'm actually doing, because there is a silver chest up here which we can grab. Now if you come this way, the only enemies you will come in contact with in the beginning is the ones that we have encountered already, not the ones that were in the center square. So this is the path of least resistance, I guess I would say. Now in this room here, if you head on upstairs to the top, see up here we've got a silver chest. Now, where we are off to now is just down here. So if we have a quick map reference look, we've got to head to that section there. So if we send a ping, see it's right there. very strange. Alright, so now if we have a quick look at where we are, we're in the scavenger arena, so you would imagine that in here there would be some sort of boss, and there's a scavenger matron. So your best bet for attacking this is to try and take out everybody who is around the area first. We've already semi-successfully done. Oops. Alrighty. So that should give you an idea of just how many enemies you're actually dealing with in here. Now, in terms of taking out the scavenger matron, you can semi-cheese him up here by getting him confused. He will get stuck down the bottom and unable to throw potions at you. So you can cheese him from up here, and you can also get him caught up in these tunnels like I did just here. Alright, and there we go. We've now got the Almanac. So we just need to make a little bit of space. One more little thing in this region as well. If you just head into this room here on this page, we look on the map where that is. It's right here, sort of facing north at Surats Rest. You'll see there's a piece of lore there, sister, a note to Kendall. It's just on the table just inside the door. And again, there's a few books and whatnot around here as well. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll head on back home, get everything organised, and make sure we've got everything all sorted out for our next missions from the builders. Once we've placed the Almanac of Plants and Seedlings, and we'll see what new missions it's given us to fulfill. Alright, well, once again, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time on Glitch Gaming.